Hey everyone, this is Shishi. So remember last time when I said there was a weird order with the set of competition videos I did over the holidays? Yes? No? Maybe? Okay, so around Christmas time I kidnapped Froggy and Knockout to do a series of videos. People who don't know, they are incredible YouTubers, link in the description below, as well as my nieces. You got one obsessed with murder drones, one obsessed with Yu-Gi-Oh!, but all of us are also huge Pokemon fans, so I decide, let's do a Pokemon race. Rules are pretty simple. Each of us would do a run throughout Pokemon Soul Silver and see who had the fastest time to get to Falkner, the flying gym leader. Person with the fastest time would win. But of course, there has to be a catch, because there's always a catch. Each of us, during the recording session, before things got completely screwed up, had done a drawing of both each other and of ourselves. The winner would get to decide who would get what drawing and would have to have as their profile pic for YouTube for the next week. Needless to say, in the 3 months it took for me to actually get this video done, it's a miracle there wasn't a series of physical violence or murders within that time frame. Now, why did we pick Soul Silver? Well, there was mainly 2 reasons. One, it was a game that I thought would be fair. The 2 girls had never played it before, and it's been at least a good decade and a half since I've played it. So all of us basically had an equal playing field, since I have no memory of the roots and progression for the game. Second reason? Well, it was the only game I had on hand for us to play, since we were at their house for Christmas lunch and dinner. I went first, with Knockout and Froggy both sandwiching me in the middle, which is probably what also prevented a good murder or 2. Originally, we were going to have each of us do a gameplay with a real-life recording of our reactions, since we were doing drawings around that time, as well as having some goofy banter. But that's where the problem started, and it's why this video took so long. Due to a phone or 2, a camera or 2, our recordings got trashed. So, long story short, life is difficult, ergo, I need to stop making mine harder. So instead of each of us having a video recording, you're just gonna deal with mine. Sorry in advance, but this was 3 months ago. The story starts with me going and finding my mem, letting her lecture me for a solid 5 minutes before I rush out to go see Professor Elm. Or I would be rushing out if I could run. No shoes! I picked Cyndaquil for the challenge. As much as I would have liked to pick Chikorita, because unlike the majority of Pokemon fans, Chikorita is my favorite of the Johto starters. And I don't care if it sucks, because you know what? Charmander sucks in Gen 1, but no one rats out about him. But, unfortunately, I realized this was going to be a long video. That didn't even count the fact that this was just run 1 of 3. And as much fun as it would have been to watch the girls struggle trying to beat the game, because monkey see, monkey do, monkey gonna make a fool of you, for Chikorita being up against the flying type gym leader. We only had 1 game system for this, and the last thing I needed was for one of them to destroy my poor game from rage. I also picked Cyndaquil because there was a good chance of getting burned from Cyndaquil's Ember. I figured it would be helpful down the line, once I got it. With my little lady A, the Cyndaquil, by my side, I showed her off to Mum, got ambushed by my neighbor and her Meryl because apparently she had no confidence in me or my nieces in surviving the vast wilderness. We went about our way with the timer on our heels. It wasn't a hard journey in the slightest, but it was quite the tedious one. I'm the type to usually overlevel unless I'm doing a Nuzlocke, and because I wanted to beat Falkner in and every trainer before him, I fought every single encounter in the grass with a couple exceptions. With the clock ticking behind me, I was really starting to get worried about that. I also ended up finding myself in a cave, completely forgetting that it wasn't necessary in my travels, and managed to receive the mystery egg, greet Professor Oak, only to get ambushed by Silver, only to return to Professor Elm and be interrogated by the police because of this dirtbag for a solid 5 minutes, wasting my time. I had to make the trek towards Violet City. Which, before I get to that, pause? What the heck, Pokemon? I can get it if my poor mom is unable to buy shoes for me, but why did you have to have a weird old man run around, taunting me with how fast he is, just for him to run into the water, saying those shoes are still warm but brand new? Here you go. Why? Could have just given me a pair of shoes without all that. Cherry Grove City, man. Disgusting, wet, warm shoes aside, I finally got to run, of which I continued training up, made my way to Violet City, challenged all the monks at Bellsprout Tower, train some more. And I'll tell you, again, it wasn't hard, but it wasn't exactly a fun walk in the park. I ran to Centret, a ton of Rattata, Caterpies, a once-in-a-blue-moon Metapod, Kakuna, a few Pidgeys, and, that stupid cave full of Geodudes I didn't need to even battle. And once I got into Bellsprout Tower, all the Bellsprouts there. All of them were annoying, but they were doable. Then came the Weedle. At first, it was nothing to worry about. 1 or 2 every several encounters. But for some reason, they multiplied. They came for me. Droves of Weedle, each armed with their deadly poisonly stingers. My Cyndaquil and I found ourselves surrounded, running with smoke screen clouding their vision as terror filled our hearts. And A had enough. Her rage caused her to evolve, consuming the little bugs in a scorching blaze until they were nothing but ashes. She evolved, and our time had come. In all seriousness, yeah, Weedles were the biggest pain in the butt as far as the entire gameplay was concerned. But again, once we learned Ember, once we evolved, we flew through the rest of the challenges. We made our way to Falkner's gym, took out his legion of birds, and grasped that badge with honor. A good 42 minutes, if I recall correctly. It was definitely between 40 and 45. Wasn't the best time, but again, made some mistakes. That stupid cave. But, yeah. It was then the girls' turn. So again, I don't have the recordings for the 2 girls. But, long story short, I was the fastest because due to a couple, evil Weedle knocking out 1 or 2 of them, sending them all the way back to the beginning, getting lost despite watching my gameplay, and not turning the settings for text speed up to high, they took far longer than I did. So, I take my crown as champion. And even better, I get to decide what pictures they have for their YouTube profile. Something they've been dreading the last 3 months. And all done before lunchtime. I say that was a good way to wrap up the story. Alright guys, I'm gonna end it here. Thank you all so much for watching. Again, links in the description below. Check out Knockout, check out Froggy. They're both awesome. I love them so much, and I was really happy that I was able to do some of these competition videos with them. And winning. Small part, but it makes me feel better. I got some new projects lined up, although with school and work and everything, it's all on the back burner. But it's coming. I'm getting there. But I'll see you guys next time. Ciao for now.